Welcome to the New Game, Old Game podcast powered by No Alumni. Remember to check us out online at either newgameoldgame.com or noalumni.com. This is episode 5, and today we're doing something a little different. Today we're breaking down the meaning behind Skullie. It's our logo, our mascot, and really the visual identity of this podcast and the No Alumni movement. If you've seen it and wondered, what is that? Where did it come from? Why the crack? Then this episode is for you. Nothing about Skullie is random. Every detail tells a story about momentum, identity, imperfection, and community. Let's get started.
Hi, Matt.
Greg,
how are you
doing?
Good. This is our second time doing this podcast. So we had did you ever do something in your life and you just went totally haywire after you did, like you thought it was awesome? And what was it? It was an audio problem.
Equipment malfunction.
We're going to blame equipment and wires and computers.
Such a mess. It was so unfortunate.
Yeah, we were vibing that day. I was probably in a better mood than I am in today. And I think,
Ditto.
Yeah.
It's really hard to recreate magic.
It is, but we'll do our best.
Yeah.
We'll do our best.
I believe it's possible.
And you don't know what the other one sounded like, right? So nobody knows the other one because we're erasing it from history. So no one will know what they're truly missing by listening to this one.
I think 3 people listened to the last episode.
Thank you.
Recording failed. 2 of them were probably us.
Yeah, I tried to get through it.
The one individual, probably one of our moms.
Yes.
So
it wasn't my mom, I don't think.
Oh, geez.
I don't know if I've told her we're doing this, but
oh man.
Yeah, it is what it is. We were talking about subs and subbing for someone at a networking group, and it turned into, certainly with Matt and I, turned into food. So we were talking about toasted subs versus just regular subs. And I remember, I think it's with my brother. I was with him, or I don't know why my brother translates into this, but it's like, I think I said something at one of the Subways we might have been at, like, do you want your sub toasted or not? And I said, do I want my sub more delicious? No, thanks. I'd like it less delicious. So we were having the debate, and I don't know if it's a debate between the both of us, Matt, because I think we both agree that toasted subs are superior.
100%. I do know it's a debate at home. My wife is, bless her soul, she's in the cold sandwich camp.
Really?
Needs to cross over to the hot sandwich.
Like, I don't hate a cold sandwich, but like if you have the option.
Yeah, cold sandwich is good. I mean, if you're on a picnic or
sure,
whatever, it has its place.
If
you can choose. You're right. If you can choose.
It should always be toasted.
I wonder if this is universally applicable. Is hot always better? Like big is always better?
Do you like cold pizza?
No.
At all?
Not really.
See, I can eat cold pizza. I like cold. Is it better than fresh and hot? No.
Can I eat it? Yeah. I mean,
do I love it? Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But yes, I don't know. I think hot is usually better. Is there something? I mean, not like fruit. I don't want warm fruit, but like I think with meat and cheese and things like that, you want it. I would imagine you want it warm. Let us know what you like. If you like cold pizza, if there's somebody out there listening to this that likes cold pizza or cold subs better than a hot toasted sub or like hot fresh pizza, let us know. We won't make fun of you. I think it's fine.
I can only think of a few things that are better cold.
Give me one.
Salad.
Beer.
Yeah. And ice cream. I think that's the list.
So I'm weird with ice cream. I like ice cream cold, obviously. I don't like it warm, but I do like when it starts to melt a little bit.
Do you do like the 11-second microwave before you scoop it? Because
if it's at home, yeah. I think I do.
I've done that my whole life.
I thought I was the only person that did that.
I thought I was too, except I've made disciples around that. Like family, friends have seen me do that. And some of them still report back to this day that they like it. That has been life-changing.
It tastes a little bit better.
Yeah, you got to get the
You're
freezer
right.
Fits off the ice cream and make it scoopable. I mean,
what'd you say? The freezer what?
The freezer Fits.
Oh yeah, if it's that bad, you had it's the lid wasn't on.
I don't mean
frostbite it gets or whatever that's
frostbite, stalactites or icicles. Freezer burned food isn't great, but yeah, just to take that little edge off, make it scoopable.
Yeah,
it makes it
just a little bit melty.
It brings that creamy to the
it
front,
does,
and I love creamy. We're really off.
There's no doubt.
The tracks.
Who cares? It's okay. And I want one more thing. I'm going to admit this because maybe I'm the only one that did this when I was a kid. But I used to take like cheese and warm it up in the microwave and like eat it melted. Like who does that?
On what?
Just eat it. Just the cheese.
Did you put it on anything?
In a bowl.
But no, not as a
No,
topping, just as
correct.
main. Interesting.
Just to eat some cheese, like burn the edges a little bit. I don't know.
It's kind of like fried cheese at the fair,
Kind of,
without the fried.
I guess, in a microwave.
cheese.
Yeah. So I don't know. So this is turning into a food podcast, which is fine. But yeah, it's good. Good little lighthearted whatever. But maybe you like your cheese. Did anybody else? I mean, has anybody else ever microwaved cheese and ate it like me? Because I didn't know there anybody that microwaved their ice cream before, knowing this is like a revelation. I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
So there's somebody else out there that's microwaved cheese before and ate it as a snack.
I doubt that.
Okay.
Because I think that's one of the things that makes you very unique. But if anyone does that, they should put it in the comments.
Let us know.
Also, if anyone could add to our list of things that are always better cold, I think you should put that in the comments too, because we'd like to know.
Yeah.
I think our working list, and I think it could just be these 3 things, but we're open to additions. But beer, salad, and ice cream.
That's it.
Everything else is better warm.
Well, iced tea. I like iced tea better than hot.
Well, we're not counting beverages.
Okay, food. Got it. Done.
Yeah.
Which leads us to what? Leads us to talking about what we're talking about today, and that is our logo and our little mascot that you maybe are familiar or not familiar with. I know on the podcast, Skullie, what an amazing, just super creative name that we came up with, is talking in front of a big like Elvis style microphone, right? I think on the podcast. So we've taken Skullie and kind of used him in that way, or her. I guess it could be. We're all bones comes down to it. So
yeah.
So I don't know if it has to be a man or woman, whatever. But yeah. So Skullie, we're talking about the mascot and the meaning of it. I know, like Wendy's has like, you see the picture, and then there's like something mom like is in like her around her collar. I think FedEx has an arrow. So there's always things in logos, or at least in most logos, that are almost not hidden.
Wait,
but there's a meaning.
Wendy's has
Wendy.
mom?
Yes.
The word?
Yes.
The
If
word
you look up Wendy, if you look at the logo and her picture, like in her, I guess, collar of her shirt, there's MOM.
I never heard that.
Mm-hmm. You know the FedEx arrow, right?
Yeah, that's the best one.
The Amazon smile. Do you ever see the Amazon smile?
Yeah.
So it goes from, but it's more than just a smile. It goes from A to Z. They do it all A to Z, the arrow. Did you know that?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought you're smarter than me in all the stuff, man.
No.
All these stuff.
I love when there's like the hidden Mickey idea or the hidden subversive message that's like, once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Right.
And it feels like it's in plain sight, like
Yes.
that FedEx arrow, but never heard of the Wendy's and the
No, we got
Amazon,
something. Yeah.
A to Z.
Maybe, Matt, if you're let me see I'm gonna see how good you are. Post-production of this podcast for the millions of people that watch us on YouTube. Can you put the Wendy's logo up there or the Amazon? I wonder if you can do that.
Oh yeah.
No promise. If you don't, Matt, I'm not going to hold it against you, but.
Well, with the way the last recording went, I should be eating humble pie, but
it wasn't your fault.
That is no problem. I think, I don't know what to say about this, but hopefully our listeners appreciate, we are really in startup mode with this podcast. We're just doing it, right? We don't have a backing. We don't have experience. We don't have the best equipment.
Yeah.
We're just like going for it.
Yeah.
And we are excited to share this journey with you from that sense more than anything, because whatever you're doing in life, there's a lot of value if you just go for it. You don't necessarily have to have everything figured out in advance. We like the adventure of going for it and figuring it out, even if it comes with, lumps and bruises.
Yeah, mistakes.
Felt with last time.
Right. And mistakes are how a lot of us learn. But also, I think in the way that the world is set up and education is set up, you're penalized for making a mistake. Like if you make a mistake on a test, it hurts your grade. And I think, which is a shame, because I think there's ways that people learn where it is just learn by doing, learn by screwing it up, learn by, trial and error. That to me is not really an error. It's more learning, and it's okay. It's part of growth. It's part of being a human. I think what makes hopefully this authentic as we're doing it now, and as we do this in the future, and as it grows, because I would imagine a vision for this would be someday it gets more professional, but like we're growing with you. We're just like you. Matt is not a guru. I am not a guru. I never want to be considered a guru. Probably will never have to worry about that even being a consideration, but like we're just like you, figuring things out. And that's the message, right? So education is in all forms, in all types, in all ways. It's not just, going to college or going to this school or, going to the trades. There's a lot of ways to educate yourself every day. And I'm almost 50, and Matt, you're 27. It's like we're learning how to do stuff now, and I hope I'm 60 and still learning something new. So,
Absolutely,
it's good. So we're talking about the logo Skullie, and what that means, and I'm going to let Matt talk.
I just wanted to jump in real quick and
Please
say,
do.
Our listeners and people who have joined our conversation, they hear us talk about No Alumni, and we say this podcast
Is
powered by No Alumni. So what we're hoping to do is explain a little bit about No Alumni as we share Skullie, because Skullie is the kind of icon or the iconography or the visual representation of No Alumni, and No Alumni really is the movement. It's the company, albeit small, startup, and the heartbeat behind this conversation that's ongoing in the New Game Old Game podcast. So just to frame that up real clearly and say that Skullie is the icon that we put forward as we talk about No Alumni and the work we do, the partnership
right.
network that we're
the community is getting built,
community
and you use the word icon, which I think is you use that a couple of times, and I think it's interesting. Maybe it's foreshadowing it, because I do think it would be cool for it to be iconic someday, not for my glory or for your glory or for anything like that, other than the work that we started doing, kind of caught on, the vision, the community grew. It would be cool that one day it's an icon or iconic. Well, I don't think we're there yet, but I do like maybe icon is another. You can use it as in another way.
Yeah. Just to be clear, when I speak of icon, it has a totally different meaning than iconic.
I don't know. I guess I don't know that meaning of it a whole lot.
Icon and iconic are very different. Iconic.
Yeah, I know what iconic is. Yeah. So what's icon? Just like a logo?
Yeah. An icon is like a visual snapshot.
I'm gonna fact check you on this later.
Fact check me. But especially in I think the medieval era and hundreds of years ago, and especially in more academic and even religious settings, like icons were valuable visual representations of academic thoughts or religious thoughts or beliefs or religious practices. So
you're right.
I just say an icon is like a snapshot.
I like it. It's good.
A slim picture.
That's good. I dig it. I believe you. I'm not going to fact check you because I've not heard it used, I would say, in maybe a more modern term, something like this, but it makes sense.
But let's embrace both meanings, because it is our visual representation. I mean, you've got it on your sweatshirt now, but also we hope that, if this conversation and movement swells and it becomes iconic, sign us up, but that's a different thing for a different time down the road. But we've thoughtfully, and tell us how this was born, but we've thoughtfully designed Skullie. This isn't just a picture we like. This isn't just a design that we think is cool, though some of those things are true. But this is a thoughtfully designed icon or a thoughtfully designed logo representation of this work, of these conversations, of the No Alumni movement.
Right.
How did this kind of come together? How did this get birthed?
So this came together in 2023, the logo, right? And I'm sure AI was around in 2023. Am I correct? I don't need a long answer, but was it around-ish? I know we didn't maybe have access to it like we have now.
Not like it is now.
Okay.
It was more
so
the shadows.
Yeah, this is a pre-AI generated, because now you can say, hey, make me a skull logo that represent blah, 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 give it its parameters and what you want it to do, and it'll spit out ideas. This was before that.
Yeah, this was created right by a person's hand.
Luke Myers.
By that person's heart and brain.
Yeah, Luke Myers is his name. It's when we first started. So
shout out Luke.
Yeah, Luke is fantastic. Again, I don't have his Instagram handle, but he's a fantastic artist and creator and just visionary type of person. Just one of the coolest young people you ever meet. He's in his, I would say, mid-20s at this point. But yeah, he put this together with feedback. He gave us a bunch of different things to look at and pick from and really ran with it. And we kind of landed on, a few other designs, certainly. But, with Skullie, we didn't know it was Skullie at the time or had a name, but we like this. We like, and we're going to talk about later, the skull means something, because I like skulls and I think it's cool, have skull on a hat and says something, or a lot of brands will do that. And so I always like that. I think aesthetic. I think a lot of other people do. Like the motorcycle community likes it. I think there's just a lot of people that dig it. It's not for evil, like weird reasons. I've always kind of dug it. It's who we are, right? It's part of our body. We don't see it, but we'll talk about what that means later. But yeah, he ran with it, gave us a bunch of options, and I don't know, like very thankful for that time at the very beginning to kind of, I don't know, it helped us shape a lot of the things, as silly as that sounds. But yeah, it has meaning, and we want to talk about that. And if you want to maybe ask me the questions, I can answer, and we can go back and forth, however you want, or I can just start. If you're okay with just starting with the first one, then we can kind of take it from there.
Yeah, we wanted to tell our listeners sort of in this logo, where is the hidden arrow, or where is the A to Z? And we have those things.
I think there's a bunch of them.
Yeah, we have a bunch. We want you to, look at the logo, understand it, and kind of like, critically think about these elements and see how they strike you. So, yes, why don't you start us off with the first one?
Yeah, I can do that. So if you look at the logo, and Matt, I don't know, again, for all of the watchers on YouTube, maybe we're able to put the logo up at one point so you guys can look at it, or maybe leave it in a corner so it's there. I don't know. If not, check us out at noalumni.com, on Facebook, No Alumni, certainly can look at it there. But really, so the slight tilt to the left, and this is something Luke explained, and I now don't know that I would have caught it. It's not like straight, coming at you straight, so it's slightly left. And when he kind of talked to us about it, it's like it shows forward movement.
Yeah.
So it's not just stationary, kind of sitting on a shelf. It's more movement, and I thought that really resonated with the design and what we think of the design. It's honestly just very slight, but I think forward movement. Even like this, right? We're in our Olive Garden studio again. At any minute, we could be interrupted by the breadsticks and the person coming with the unlimited Parmesan on our spaghetti. But you can see like the aesthetics here. You can't, we've got Olive Garden pictures over here. You can't see, but we're not in an Olive Garden, but it looks like it. But I would say the movement, right? So doing a podcast in a place that looks like Olive Garden, like it's where we're at. We're moving the ball forward. And I think in your lives, what does that look like as you move the ball forward or take steps? And Matt, and you can talk to this too. There are days where I feel like I move the ball forward a lot in my life, and with No Alumni, with this podcast, with just other things. And there's other days where it's just like getting up and moving the needle just a little bit, or just not much at all, is the best you got that day. And I think the most important thing is that more often than not, we have some movement. We have at least some momentum starting, because it's easy to get stuck not doing anything because we're scared for all the different reasons. And let us know what holds you back. I know what holds me back is I don't want to fail, but also what holds me back sometimes is I think I'm scared to succeed. What does that look like? If something succeeds, what does that even look like? So I don't know. So what holds you back? I don't know, but it does represent a little bit of forward movement.
Yeah. That's one of the things I love about No Alumni and about the new game, old game conversations that we have is, you're right. The speed and the tempo isn't what's important. What's important as a commitment in this work and these conversations is that we're always moving. So yeah, the speed might vary, the tempo, the cadence, that, we'll have days where it's fast, days where it's slow. We'll have days where we skip steps and days where we feel like, oh, we just can't break through. But the commitment is that we are moving. So there's a momentum that's embedded in our work because of that, because we've got that commitment to always be moving forward. And I know it could be in your business, it could be in your personal life, it could be in your home. We're a part of systems. We have emotions and we have habits that keep us at stasis, or that keep us in times of stagnation. So I think we're all better when we sort of push back against those things, and when we double down on the commitment to take steps, even if they're baby steps, we're taking steps. And so the forward movement that's spoken to by the tilt of Skullie, I think is really important, because it reminds us of constant motion, and that constant motion can be sometimes the only thing that keeps momentum going. So it's really important.
I do think for me, and I hustle culture, I hate. There's a lot of things I don't like about things in our culture. So I don't want you to think it's, at least for me, and it's not about like you can't rest or you can't. Sometimes moving forward means you need to take the time to rest and recharge and do the things. So it's not just movement for movement's sake and busy, because that's, our life is too much like that. So I think whatever that looks like for you, but I think there's also no shame in rest and in gathering your thoughts and in preparing, because I think all that, kind of contributes to that momentum that we can get. So I never want to come across as like, yeah, work, hustle, 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 hustle. Like all those things are important to work and to work hard and to be great at what you do. We're going to talk way more about that as we go forward and what work looks like in I think the modern workplace, what it should look like. But yeah, I don't want to ever come across as like, oh, just talking about just moving all the time. It's like, because that's not healthy either. I do think in the logo, it shows that, taking steps like today. Did we want to re-record a podcast? We really thought we knocked it out of the park. We didn't probably want to do it, right? But we moved it. We got past it. We're doing it. And this is great in its own merit and might even be better than the first one. So it's just moving forward.
This tilt is about thoughtful motion.
Oh, that's good.
Not just movement for movement's sake.
Right.
So I think you said that well.
Yeah. No, you backed it up well, Matt.
I got you.
I got you, boo.
I got your back.
I got you, boo. The next one, the eyes. So the N and the A within we're going to talk about the goggles in a minute, is the eyes, really, the eyeballs. It expresses unity, belonging, and vision towards action and change in someone's life. So I really think, in a way, the unity, I think about that as the community that's being built, of those that identify with the brand and the movement and this podcast, that maybe have lived that way. They didn't go to college, and maybe they didn't fit in school because they were wired a certain way, and they weren't fed by that system. But also, like with Matt, we've talked about this, I think, in one of our other podcasts. Matt went to Notre Dame, and first time we met, he had his class ring on, and he's proud of it, as you should be. I think it's a great accomplishment. I admire that about you, but it's also for those that understand that, there are more than one way, more than one path. And so it's for anybody that that wants to be part of the community. It's not exclusive to tradespeople, right? But it can be anybody, because we all need each other. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. And we don't talk about Notre Dame a lot, which is great. I'm not saying we should, but for the record, I want to say I went to the real Notre Dame, not the one in South Euclid. So for any of our Northeast Ohio listeners, sometimes I get that question. They say, "Oh, you mean, did you go to the one in South Euclid that went bankrupt a year ago?"
No, South Bend.
No, yeah,
South Bend, baby.
South Bend, baby. The OG, the school of our.
It's a beautiful campus. I went there. My dad was friends with Coach Faust, and I got to go there a few times with him.
I can't wait till we record an episode from campus, but that's for another time.
No alumni from a college. That would be. I like that.
That would be edgy.
I would be edgy. I dig it.
That's what we're all about.
I dig it.
Okay, but when you look at a picture or a logo, I think we all sort of look at what's right in the middle and what's central. It's just kind of where we look by default. And so we put the N and the A on the eyes, which in a person's face, the eyes are central. So in Skullie, that's true as well. And like Greg said, the N and the A in the eyes, we hope that speaks to the No Alumni ethos and heartbeat. And really, by extension and translating, what does that mean to the No Alumni community? That the No Alumni movement, its best fruit is a community of people who will talk about these things, who will appreciate, encourage, and empower one another by being connected to this work and to this community. And so that's really, I think, what we hope that Skullie is saying with the centrality of what's in this mark or icon's eyes.
I think it's the vision of a better future, of a tighter knit community, of belonging for those that, I've said this, maybe it was the last podcast we whiffed on, but like going to the football game with you and the Pitt Notre Dame game, like people high-fiving you and like giving you
Pittsburgh.
In Pittsburgh.
That's key, right?
Right.
Like we were on the road.
Right. And like there was people that you didn't know that probably graduated years before you or after you.
Never seen
before.
Like,
and there's
strangers.
There's a brotherhood and a sisterhood because we had that shared experience of going to Notre Dame. So I thought, and I've known that, but I thought it was interesting to witness in this context. And it's like, so people that don't have that, right? So I got into the trades right after high school, and like somebody else did the same thing. Maybe they're a mechanic, although we're in a different trade. It's like now I think No Alumni can be that, like high five, No Alumni, right? Fist bump, No Alumni. Like we can be proud of that too. Just like people that went to Ohio State or Notre Dame or, Cal or whatever, like they have that same pride in their journey as you should too. So I think it's it's that. So really, it's just the vision of bringing people together with a shared commonality, I guess.
Yeah, they always say the alumni network is like one of the best
Yeah.
benefits of going to a school like Notre
Yes.
Dame. And I'm living proof. I would testify to that all day long. And so that applies here. Like you said, with no alumni, every person deserves that level of camaraderie, of connectedness, and of togetherness in a community where we can collaborate, we can build into one another. So whether you went to a university someone's heard of before or not, it doesn't matter. You can still have that
Yeah.
camaraderie in that community. And that's for everybody. That's for teachers. That's for electricians. That's for people who work in government. That's for all the trades, all the disciplines.
Mhm.
If you work for yourself, you work for a big company, it doesn't matter. The conversations and work we're doing with No Alumni is for you. You're welcome. And we're building this community and this movement that
Yeah.
we hope is going to reach a scale
Sure.
that really impacts hundreds and
We've had-
thousands of people, regardless of where they are.
Right. I've had somebody, I'm in the roofing space currently, and had somebody from Oklahoma City wanting to reach out, maybe do like a No Alumni chapter, like whatever that means. I've had a local person in Akron that we need to meet with. I said that last time. We need to meet with her to figure that out. And like, what does that look like? I don't know, but building that community. And I think, what did you say about the connected? What word did you use about the network? So the network of Notre Dame, like that's a powerful network of people all around the country that, you maybe have access to because you had that shared experience, you have that degree. Where I think No Alumni could be that, where we have chapters or groups of people all over the country, and we can help one another out.
The
help our
world,
businesses.
the world
Yeah.
really even too.
Sure.
A couple of years ago, my sister lived in Japan, and one of the first places she met people was the Notre Dame Club of Japan.
Wow.
And Coach Lou Holtz was there soon after to do a talk to that club,
Love it.
hang out, break bread, and just having that in common. So
Love it.
No Alumni provides that now and is going to be providing that in an expanding, growing way. And so if this kind of idea is new to you, or if this is interesting to you, I'd say like hit us up.
Drop us a comment. We
Yeah.
read them all. We're going to respond to them all, because maybe you have an idea, or you're in an area where you want to start something. And I wouldn't say there's these strict parameters you'd have to go by, but let's talk about it. Let's figure it out, because I think it'd be good.
We will deputize you. We will send you swag. We will give you resources. We'll even give you a preview on resources and some of the new and exciting things that we have in development. A few months ago, we started an ambassador program where if someone's really into what we're doing, if someone really believes in the mission, really likes the look of the merch, whatever, if you're connected in a serious way and you want that connection to grow, it could be a small connection today and you don't know what the future holds. But if you have any interest, this is a brief time in this talk where we'll do a shameless plug to say,
Yeah.
we would love to have you on board. We'd love to empower you and include you in as many ways as we can. So be a No Alumni ambassador, or buy a sweatshirt or something else, or all of the above. We'd love to have you as a growing part of our community.
For sure. Back to the Skullie, the smile,
Yeah.
the mouth. I think the mouth is important, because you could have an angry looking skull. You could have a lot of different faces, but I think the smile, the journey, and all of our journeys being, original, and our own journeys, it's going to be exciting, right? And I don't love the word fun or happy necessarily. I think those can be generic words, but I think the journey can be fun. And I think too many times in life, we are so concerned about getting somewhere that once I get somewhere, I'll be good, that we fail to enjoy the moments and the times along the way, the journey. We like to skip past that part, where really I think that's how we're built, and that's how we learn, is the journey, not necessarily just being at the destination. It's how did we get there? So I don't know. I think you should be pursuing something that gives you fulfillment, some sort of joy, knowing that work is work, and it's a necessary thing in our society, certainly. But yeah, I think having fun, as corny as that sounds, doing what you're doing for a living, even if it's not ideally what you want to do, or maybe like this is a step to maybe get me to somewhere down the road, like just enjoy the journey. And I think smiling, I don't know, it was a way, I think, for us to convey that in this sense. So that was important.
I think the smile might be my favorite part of Skullie. Maybe one other part that we'll get to in a couple of points from now. But the reason I like the smile is because it's not really just a happy, flat, regular smile.
Yeah.
It's more like a smirk. It's like the whole look of the face, because of Smiles design gives this feeling of like a wry smile, a little bit of an edgy smirk. And to me, what that reflects in Luke's thoughtful design is there's an adventurous component here.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, we don't always know in our work with No Alumni and this podcast, the New Game, Old Game podcast, and the other materials that we're working on. We don't always know what's right around the corner, but we believe in the principles and the ideas that we've gotten clarity around. And so we are sort of like buckled up for the adventure that is unknown and uncertain. And I think the smirk kind of points to that.
I agree. I think you're spot on with that for sure. The motorcycle. I'm trying to now think what your next favorite part of it is. I like them all, but I get what you're saying. I'm guessing it's not this, but maybe it is. But the old school motorcycle goggles signify being ready to take action. So my buddy Dave, one of the co-founders of No Alumni, who you will hear from here shortly, he's really into Harleys, and the guy can take a bunch of metal in the corner and just weld and like make a motorcycle out of it. It's amazing. Where I look at that and I just would make noise messing around with it, but he can like create something from metal, which is nuts to me.
He's a genius.
He's a genius, and he's very creative,
and an
he's
artist.
One of the best at what he does, probably in the country. But yeah, I remember seeing a picture of him and like seeing him wear, like he drove his motorcycle to my house, and he comes, it's like, who is this dude? He's got these old looking, like from the 30s, like motorcycle goggles,
vintage, baby,
vintage, yeah, and
classic.
It just kind of is like, man, Skullie needs, because you're a key part of this, Dave. Skullie needs to have those goggles, because I think it can represent something, and really it's, take off, action, like we're ready to get on the bike and go, and also protects our eyes, right? So maybe that also the protection aspect, or the way it helps you see while you're driving fast, maybe that has something to do with it too. And I think there's can be nuance to all of it, but I think that's kind of the big thing is, that we're ready to go. Like this movement is taking on another level. We're getting on a bike and pressing the gas.
Yeah. So shout out and much love to Dave. We love you. We got to get you on this podcast ASAP.
Yes.
But right, like you wouldn't wear goggles if you were going to sit still.
Correct.
So goggles imply you're going, and we are going. We've started. We're still going, and we're ready for what's ahead. Back to that adventure, back to that forward movement and thoughtful motion. So yeah, we are ready for action. And the goggles tell us that.
We'll dig it
in this picture. Yep.
So maybe this is my guess, because I think this is my favorite thing, is the crack in the skull.
Yeah, you got it.
Was that yours too?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I was alluding to.
You were alluding to. Okay, because I think it's one of my favorite things too. It signifies kind of the bumps and bruises.
Yeah.
And the scars we get along the way.
Imperfections.
And that's what really makes our stories unique, is none of us get out of this world unscathed, right? Without a scar of some sort, without some sort of injury or something. Like our bodies take on a lot as we live. I remember my son Nolan like banged his head against a table. Oh, that was my daughter actually. But Nolan, I think he got bit by a dog that we had for about a week, and just we shouldn't have had a dog. It was pretty aggressive towards the kids. We actually gave it to my mother-in-law. The dog grew old with her, but like, it puts a scar on the lip or something. It's like that you're going to live with that for the rest of your life. And not that scars are bad or they're ugly. And sometimes you might feel that it is ugly. I'm very self-conscious about it, but I would say scars tell a story. And for some people, your scars mean a lot of pain or hurt. And, so we don't use, it's not there, I guess, to minimize that. But I do think the bumps and bruises along the way, whether it's how we learn, some things we've overcome, I think it brings the human element to it. That man, we all got bumps and bruises that we're probably scared to talk about, ashamed of, but also if you really look at it, it makes you who you are and who you are today. And I think that's a good thing overall.
And if you look at it, this is really cool. The crack in the skull is neat because it brings us together. Every person has bumps, bruises, wounds, and imperfections. That's true across the board. And they're not all the same. So it's like, on the one hand, we all have these things from our past or these things in our life, these cracks or scars or bumps, and they're unique to us. So it's like on the one hand, we're together in that, but on the other hand, they're unique to our own lived experience. So again, to me, it kind of points to the community part of No Alumni, is that we're better together and we're better coming together, helping and empowering and encouraging each other as a community, networking to solve the challenges that we're facing and the things we're going through, and really being there for each other, and maybe learning from each other and from those scars, and taking some peace in the fact that nobody's perfect, nobody's without bumps and scars, and at the same time, mine are different from yours and vice versa. So if we kind of put our heads together, we can have the best of all worlds when we're, united.
Yeah, I like that. And all that was what you just said was brilliant. But the thing I fixated on, and this is just me sometimes, is you said the word neat. So neat to me is one of those words that old people say. It reminds me of another word, clever. Like, that's clever. Like my grandma used to say that. So I would say neat for me is in that class of old people words, Matt. And I know you're 24, but neat and clever just that was funny. It caught me.
Well, you're an old geezer. I think that's why it stood out to you so quickly. Just the nomenclature.
You're so clever, Matt.
Oh, you're funny. It takes you back to third grade.
It does.
In the 40s.
In the 1940s, yes. Oh, man. Wow. Yeah, I'm old. Thanks, Matt.
I hear neat and I think of scotch.
Okay. I'm not the big drinker you are. By the way, my buddy Larry said, and Matt has been pretty good on this podcast, but anytime new game, old game is brought up or said, like it's a drinking game, and we don't promote drinking games at all, right? Or drinking or that type of thing.
Wait a minute.
What?
I think it depends on the drink.
True. Right. We're not promoting a drinking game. And today people would not be very buzzed because you haven't said it a lot. We said, man, you guys just say new game, old game a lot. I said, we do, Larry. It's kind of what the podcast is about. It's like I said, constructive criticism taken. We'll try to cut down on saying it because we don't ever want it to be annoying.
After Dave, let's get Larry on here. He can be a guest.
No, Larry needs to be a guest because Larry just retired from being a local sheriff, and the way Larry leads and has led is very different than your typical police person, or I don't know if he was a chief. I don't know his exact title, but the way he led the men and women of that department, he needs to share his story.
Hey,
because it is. I mean, this is big picture thinking. Leave it to me to do that. But I see Larry going out with No Alumni and like talking to people that are police officers or law enforcement, and I think there can be a lot of change for good.
Yeah.
In the way things are operated and run. The way he leads men is very, and women is very inspiring. So he's definitely going to be on the podcast, and we'll have some whatever.
Much respect to all
for sure
law enforcement and first responders and those who have caring professions that it's all about service to other people. I can't imagine if I was in their shoes. That's just such a next level of human capacity and kindness and generosity that I can't imagine myself inside. And so much respect, and even more accolades and shout out to those in those places and fields who are
for sure.
Top of the top and exceptional like Larry is. So Larry, get your flask. Come on
up to Olive Garden Studios here.
Oh yeah.
When we're going to make it happen. I told him we were. We got a lot of guests coming, and I promise the next podcast, the next one we release, we'll have a guest, and it's going to be a really good guest. I'm not going to reveal it here just in case it's not the guest I'm thinking of, but we're going to have a guest that's going to be good. We want to kind of open up the stories a little bit now that I think we've laid, at least I'd say, a decent foundation. We can always come back and revisit and a foundation of what this podcast is and who No Alumni is. So the last thing I want to get to is the skull. And we talked about Skullie, Skullie. That's how we spell it. Again, super clever. The guy was a genius who came up with the name. But it really signifies the skull itself being no alumni to the bone, to your bones. It's all who we are. And your journey is, not that you take your journey to the grave, but in a way, it's like we're all skin and bones. And I think it's just a part of who we are. We identify with it. And I know this isn't bones, but I think the first person to get a No Alumni Skullie tattoo, if I wasn't such a scaredy cat, I would have already done it. But I'm a little bit of a scaredy cat. But like just that you identify with it so much. it's really to the bone. And I don't know. It's kind of corny, but also it gives meaning to the skull. 'Cause I believe it. If I don't believe in it, like if I look at this and hate it or don't, like I'm not going to fake that I like it or, oh, this has meaning to me, and it doesn't. I think it's very personal to all of us, and hopefully it becomes like that, something like that to you. I'm not looking for you to idolize it or worship it, anything like that. But you have a patch here, Matt. Can you show the camera like the?
Wait,
or you can do that later.
What's your problem with the ink? Are you have a low pain tolerance, or
Yeah, kind of.
you just if worried it's going to wrinkle and sag, or what's?
Well, that already probably happened. But where am I going to put it? This I don't really. I don't go swimming and like want to like take my shirt off all the time. So I can put it on my arm, but I don't wear tank tops. I can put it on my leg, maybe on my leg or calf. But yeah, I'm a wimp.
Okay, let's phone a friend. We're gonna get Mrs. Greg on the line, and she will tell us her preferred placement for Skullie. Maybe she'll get one too. You guys could do lovebird matching Skullies.
We could. Dave has a lot of tattoos.
Dave, if you don't have a Skullie by next week, you're not coming on this podcast.
Yeah, Dave. I mean,
you're already inked up.
Does he have enough room? He's got it.
Oh, yes, he does.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I think it's cool, and all the stuff we've done with No Alumni since its inception, it just seems like when we talk about No Alumni with someone for the first time, or when someone gets plugged into the movement or the community and they follow along and they participate, they really like do it completely. Like you don't see too many people who jump into No Alumni like halfway, but it's really a movement and a meaning and a purpose and all that stuff that like really resonates. And so I think this, even though it might sound corny or cliche, No Alumni to the bones, I think it's meaningful for what it's worth. In our experience, we see people really wholeheartedly commit, wholeheartedly adopt this set of beliefs and like these glasses to look at the world. So that part is really cool.
Yeah, I agree. So that really, I think wraps up the mascot. If there's something you like about it, or even if you don't like about it, drop us a comment. You know, it does help on all platforms. I know I do Spotify and I'll do YouTube, and I know there's a bunch of others. But like, yeah, leave a comment, give us a little subscribe, give us a like, do all the things. Again, everyone says it, but it really does help. It helps other people see it. And again, we're just starting, so it's not like we have a bunch of listeners, and maybe we eventually have a bunch of listeners. They'll go back and look at some of these podcasts and they'll get more listens and more views. But just spreading and starting it where we're at, and like all that stuff helps. It definitely does, for sure.
Oh yeah. At the time of recording, it's February 2026.
Yeah.
And like I don't think you can overstate the way that like the internet overlords and the algorithms work now.
Yeah.
Like any engagement with content is helpful. So even if you like it, even if you share it and you feel like it might not go anywhere, or you put a comment and you might not feel like this comment is profound, doesn't matter. We're exceedingly grateful if you'd interact with our content in any way.
Even negatively, like you guys, this is the worst podcast I've ever listened to. I get no value of it. I will never listen again. That is a great comment.
Our livelihoods are not on the line here, so we can really
not yet, right?
Not yet. So we really are open to all sorts of feedback, because there's only upside to these conversations and to enlarging them as we move forward. And also, at this moment in history, there's more pods than humanity knows what to do with. So if you're still listening at this moment, we're really just
amazing.
You're amazing. We're so glad you're here. One last thing I think about this patch, I'd like to start something maybe in each conversation.
Are you going to show the patch, man?
Yeah. So this is a No Alumni patch. You see Skullie there with a hard hat, and notice that the crack in the skull is still evident. We're committed to that. Committed to that crack.
We're committed to crack. Is that going to be? Is that going to be
this out of context.
A snippet?
Don't.
We love the crack.
Oh my gosh. This is going to be taken out of context and used against us.
Well, it's okay.
But okay, here's the thing on today's episode. If you put in the comments, and you're one of the first 10 people to put in the comments just the word Skullie, we will mail you your very own No Alumni patch. See it right there? So put in the comments, whether you're on Spotify, Apple Podcast, another podcast platform, YouTube, whatever, put Skullie in the comments. Be one of the first 10 people. We'll send you a patch. We also want to let you know that we've got a lot of No Alumni and New Game Old Game merchandise online. You can go to newgameoldgame.com or noalumni.com and have a look at what's there. Greg's got a great sweatshirt on today, but there's a lot more to choose from. So if any of this resonates with you, or you know someone who might like a piece of swag, check that stuff
I
out.
love it. Well, thanks. This is great. And I guess we'll see you next time with a guest.
That's right.
All right.
All right.
See ya.
Peace.